Lanning, 9-15. You did film yourself. I wasn't looking. Oh, right. Who's that now? Things happen in life that make us question where we are now. Events that make us want to change and be a better person. Everyone goes through a life-changing experience at least once in their life. These events could be anything from a death in the family to a personal near-death experience, or even something smaller such as overcoming a fear. Whatever it is, these things help us realize that life is more than just getting the perfect job or the perfect house or even the nicest car. I've gone through a life-changing experience of my own, one that made me realize that things I never expect to happen to me can especially happen to me. We all take advantage of people at some point in our lives, and most of the time we don't realize we're doing it. When I lost my best friend to liver cancer, I spent months hating myself for not being a better friend to her. I eventually learned that I should stop blaming myself and simply be a better friend to the ones that I have. In November of 2012, I met a girl in an online game who lived nearby, and we became fast friends. We had a lot in common, and we eventually found ourselves spending all of our free time together. As time passed, though, we weren't able to hang out as much. In December, I learned it was because she had liver cancer. She said her medication wasn't working anymore, and she was allergic to most of the medications that she'd been provided in the past, so her doctors were looking for something else that she could take. I figured the doctors would work everything out, and I wouldn't have to worry about losing one of my best friends. During this time, I was busy with finals at school, and I also had a new boyfriend. So instead of asking my friend how she was doing, I talked about myself and my problems constantly. She once told me that she was depressed, but then she shrugged it off like it was nothing and told me to continue talking about myself. I didn't think anything of it. A couple weeks passed with us not talking to each other. I got so busy with school and work that I never really had time to talk to her. By the time I was able to text her and see how she was doing, her boyfriend answered and told me that she was in the hospital. The doctors found her transplant, so they took her in for surgery. January 22nd, 2013, the doctors told us that they lost her. Her body rejected the transplant due to a slight overdose on her medication. Reality hadn't set in completely yet. When I lost her, I hardly ate or slept. I rarely left my room unless I had to go to work, and I found myself skipping school a lot. I ignored all of my friends and my family, and I kept occupied with the television. I constantly blamed myself. And she told me that she had been feeling really depressed, and she brushed it off, and I should have pushed her to talk to me more about it, worry less about my problems, and been a better friend to her. If I had taken action when she told me that she was depressed, perhaps I could have done something to prevent her overdosing, and then she might have survived the surgery. I prayed often, and I asked if I would ever be able to feel again, and quit blaming myself for what happened. Whenever I daydreamed about the future, I pictured myself where I was at that moment, blaming myself for what had happened. I didn't know how to smile again, even though I ignored nearly all of my friends, though one of our closest friends stood by me. She visited every day and forced me to spend time with her. Thanks to her, I eventually pulled myself out of my slump and back into the real world. Slowly, I was able to forgive myself and find my real self again. I told myself that things like this do happen to everyone, including me, and I need to quit taking the people in my life for granted and start appreciating what I have. So now, I ask my friends how they are doing. I keep up with them as much as I can and make sure they are all happy and well, and I spend time with them in my free time as much as possible. God can take anyone away from us at any given moment. As sad as it is, that is life. This experience opened my eyes to the real world. I realized I must quit being selfish and remember that things like this happen to everyone, and I need to start worrying about the people that I love and care about. If I'm ever going to live beyond my friend's death, I have to quit being so hard on myself and start thinking positively. Therefore, instead of dwelling on the worst every January, I started a new tradition. The last movie she and I ever watched together was Grown Ups. So every 22nd of January, I set aside time to watch the movie in remembrance of her. I plan to continue living my life in the positive way that I am now, And while I'm still busy with keeping up my grades in school and working to pay the bills, I vow to be a better friend to everyone in my life, and I will keep that promise however hard it gets. We spend our whole lives thinking that this will never happen to me. Life-changing experiences really open our eyes to reality in some way or another. Lessons are meant to be just that, lessons, and we are meant to learn from them.